What's up, guys? Mr. Lee Redden here with episode number 4 of the Level 11 series. So I've now played halfway stage of the season. Yes, I am right, it is the halfway stage, even though if you guys look, it does say the 16th of November. There has been some changes to the leagues for some reason. I don't really know why. We are playing well, I wouldn't say a lot less games, we were playing less games than last season. I don't know why, but instead of being in the Essex Olympian, we're now in the Humber Premier, even though we've stayed in divisions. However, they have moved most of the teams with us. There's only one new team in our division this season. I'll show you all those guys in a second. Essentially, to show how small the league is, I'll show you my fixtures in a second. I don't need to scroll down for any of them. That is how little games there are, and I don't actually know why it's happened. So I was just expecting, like usual, to have two teams come down into the Essex Olympian with all of us to play some games, to play the extra, or to replace Harold Hill and Manfred Way. But it hasn't worked like that at all. We've completely changed divisions for some reason. I don't know why. So that's the main change. There's been a lot of transfers going on. Unfortunately, this is one of my pet hates, unfortunately, with this lower levels, really, due to the fact that because they're amateur contracts, there's no transfer window essentially, and it's really annoying because you'll see I've lost most of my squad. I've replaced a couple, but not all of them. I've essentially lost quite a few. So we'll go straight into the transfer history now. As you can see, look at the amount of players I've lost, and that's all the players I brought in. Those guys there were actually part of youth's setups, I believe. So that's where most of them have gone. I bought those initially anyway, and that was even before the season ended. I kind of get a little bit bored with lower leagues sometimes when there's quite big gaps between games, which there is, especially in this league as well now. There's up to 2 weeks between games on sometimes. So what I do is I just skip ahead. Unfortunately, if I get a transfer, if someone goes in from one of my players, I may lose them. So I also means I miss the youth intakes as well, which is what these guys essentially are. Anyone from Roy Holbert above were initial youth intakes, which I completely forgot about and were released by us, so I had to get them and offer them contracts, so I've actually got them anyway. So these guys are youth intakes. If I remember rightly, they're supposed to 4.5 stars to 5 for Eckersley. Guinea is 4.5 and then 5 again. Greg Jeffries 5s. Worryingly, I think most of these are in the first team, so if I hadn't seen these guys, I'd have been screwed. I think 5 there, all the way down to Rob Holbrook. I'm going to look at him. Chris Leake I brought in. I did change towards the end of last season. I did change to the standard 4-2-3-1, but I didn't have a decent attacking centre mid or attacking right midfielder, so I tried to bring some in to replace them. I think by the time I did bring people in, I then lost people anyway. So we brought in Chris Leake, who is a 4 potential. I do actually tend to go for the youngsters as well now. Tim Trebez is a keeper I need to bring in because I lost my main one last time round. Femi Ismail is a right back. I had quite a few centre backs, but not very many left or right backs. I then signed right midfielder Kemil Match, because I did change actually to 4-4-2 in the end as well. And final signing, attacking left midfielder who can play left, Andy McCoy, who actually, looking at that, is absolutely, is atrocious. So that's the ins. As you can see, these are all the outs. Dean Cross, Thomas Buckler was my main keeper last year. Went to Kirby Muxlow in the Midland Football Alliance. He's played a few games. I might look to bring him back, to be fair. Jimmy Ames, Luke Harvey, Andy Baird, Ashley Probets, Ben Mortimer, Daniel Boateng I tried immensely to keep. Will Turl, went to Cheshunt. John Borg, Daniel Verity, Andres Katos as well, actually. Lee Warner's now gone. I've just lost him. Shane Mitchell. So essentially this is my squad here. As you can see, I actually need to bring some up, and there's still bids out on my keeper actually. Ardley, he's wanted by Malmesbury, so I'm going to have to look at him. Striker Jake Fashini, or whatever you say, is wanted by, as you can see, quite a few clubs. So that's not great. Finance wise, still decent. 200,000, and we're supposed to have 300,000 by the end of the season. Obviously, with not having any players actually on contracts, we're just getting all money. I'm not actually quite sure what my season ticket holders are this year, actually. As you can see, where is it? 160 again. As you can see, I'm actually favourites for the league, and let's just say it is absolutely wrong that I'm favourites, because we are absolutely shocking this season for some reason. Don't know why. So we'll go straight into the fixtures. As you can see, look, don't have to scroll down, but there is my league so far. I don't actually have a clue what's happened. I mean, I've lost 4-0 against Hannakins Farm. Ollie Rowe in the 3rd minute, Tom Simpson making it 2 in the 32nd minute, and then in the second half, 7 minutes to go, he got his second, and then 3 minutes to go, he completed his hat trick. 7 shots to 5 in their favour. They had 5 on target to my 1, and they had 51% possession. Then lost 1-0 Wadham Lodge. Nicky Kirkpatrick goal in the 93rd minute, giving the win. 7 shots to 6 in their favour. They had 3 on target to my none, 50% possession. I then lost 3-0 home to Buckhurst Hill. Lee Dixon in the 36th minute. Richard Hansler in the 49th. One of my players was then injured, so was theirs. Actually, their Hansler was injured. And then Dean Cannon making it 3 in the 92nd minute. 11 shots to 8 in their favour. They had 5 on target to my 3. I had 42% possession. We lost 3-1 at Frentford Senior. Sam Parrish in the 17th minute. Trevor Bastock in the 25th, giving them a 2-0 lead at half time. Louis Moss in the 74th minute made it 3. And then Max Brown actually pulling one back and getting our first goal of the season. 10 shots to 9 in my favour. I had 5 on target to their 4. And they had 53% possession. We then lost 2-0 in May and Baker Club. Louis Risbridger put May and Baker 1-0 up in the 44th minute. And with just 18 minutes to go, Reece Craze made it 2 to give them their win. And our 4th, I think it's our 4th or 5th straight defeat. 10 shots to 8 in their favour. They had 7 on target to my 2. And they had 56% possession. We then lost 3-1 in Newbury Forest. Home to Newbury Forest, sorry. In Granson in the 3rd minute made it 1-0. We pulled one back just 5 minutes later to make it 1-1. Ron Guinea put through his own goal to give Newbury Forest 2-1 lead. And then with just 10 minutes to go, Tyler Harper Penman made it 3-1 to condemn us to our 6th straight defeat. 9 shots to 7 in their favour. I had 4 on target to their 3, and I had 51% possession. So it's not like we're getting chances. That's the annoying thing. And considering we were basically like 30 minutes away from promotion, and then to lose first 6 of the season, we then finally won a game beating Calvin Hatch 2-0. Cameron Max in the 7th minute, and then Ian Hurd in the 20th minute, giving us our first win of the season. 7 shots to 6 in Calvin's favour. They had 5 on target to my 2, and they had 57% possession. We then made it 2 wins out of 2 by being Southminster St Leonard's. Andy McCoy was 1-0 up in the 13th minute. Jake Fishney made it 2-0 to us in the 22nd, and Gareth Senior pulled one back for them in the 25th. And then on the strike of half time, Billy Denchman made it 2-2. However, with 12 minutes to go, Fashini got his second in the game, and then in the added on time, Andy McCoy got his second to give us a 4-2 win. 7 shots to 8 in their favour. I had 6 on target to their 3, and I had 54% possession. We then ended up losing 5-2 with a new team, Kingston Lacey. Josh Miller put them 1-0 up in the 7th minute. Max Brown equalised for us in the 13th. However, just 2 minutes later, Mills got his second of the game to make it 2-2. But Jace Fashini made it 2-2. With 15 minutes to go. But then it all went wrong in the second half when Mills got his hat trick on the hour mark, and just 5 minutes later he got his 4th to make it 4-2. And then 60 seconds ago, Troy Carroll made it 5 to give them the win. 8 shots to 7 in their favour. We had 5 each on target, and they had 52% possession. So as expected in the league, I am bottom. 11 points from second with just 9 games to go. 4 points from Newbury Forest, Southminster and Wadham Lodge. So I would like to get off the bottom. I don't really want to finish there, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think basically promotion is out of the window. It went out of the window losing 6 in the spin at the start, even though there's not very many points between us, considering we've only got 9 games left. It's just not going to happen. So I think that's going to be the way it is. Stats wise, we've got bugger all anywhere. Well, we've got nothing at all. I'll have a look at the teams that went up. I'm not quite sure what divisions they've gone into. Oh, that's a Humber one from last year. So let's go to Essex Olympian. So yeah, I mean, none of them were in the league last year at all, apart from Bishop Stortford, Swiss and Rayleigh. Actually, those were the only 2. And what am I doing? Going here. So Harold Hill are second in the United Counties Division 1. Top team goes up. They did play in the FA Cup and the FA Vase, losing in the first round. Lost 2-0 to Newcastle Benfield and 1-0 to Darlington RA in the Vase. And the other team to go up was Manfred Way, who are 13th in Wessex League Division 1, which is bottom. And in the League and Cup, they beat Norton in the first preliminary round. They then beat the Visors in the FA Vase. Lost 2-1 to Staines Lamass in the FA Cup second preliminary. Beat Stopford in the Vase second. Won on penalties at Colne in the third. And in the fourth, they lost to Tuffley Rovers on penalties. So it's actually not too bad from them, to be fair, to get all that way. But that is my aim. That's my first aim, is to get FA Cup. At the moment, I'm stable. I'm a little concerned that could drop a little bit. They want me to, they want me to win it, which is no surprise. So we'll have to wait and see. But so it's gone absolutely atrocious. Hopefully we could get some wins in the second half to kind of pull us up a bit, and then hopefully we can stay long enough to have a go next year. As you can see, I've got to wait 3 weeks till I play Anakins. I mean, we still finish on 23rd of May, but considering it's only 18 games, then that means we basically, sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 3 weeks. So yeah, that's it guys for this episode. Leave some likes, leave some comments, subscribe, would appreciate it all. Tune in next time for an end of season review. See how it goes. Hopefully we'll still be at Harold Wood at the end of the season. Until then guys, as always, take it steady.